So we've known for a while now that the actual Nintendo Switch Online service is going to be active sometime in 2018, but most of the new features that'll actually come with it are still mostly unknown. After a Reddit AMA with the developers of the recently released indie title Lickspier, rumors of new details about the service have started making their way around the internet. I've got the full scoop on this and the other biggest stories of the week right here and right now. Before I get into the major news stories, I'd like to run through some of the bigger game announcements we got this week. There were quite a few random sports titles announced, but the two I was most intrigued by were Perception and Noire. I first heard about Perception months ago, before I even had a Switch, and I thought it was one of the coolest looking games I'd ever seen. It's a survival horror adventure game where you play as a blind girl. Since your character can't see, it's a very dark game where you sort of see the world through her senses that still work, like the feeling of wind or hearing a footstep from far away. The game looks super unique, and I'm very intrigued to learn more. Another cool announcement was the port of Rockstar's 2011 detective adventure title, Noire. This was one of the biggest games of the year following its first release, and I always wanted to play it but never dished out the money, so I'm actually kinda glad it's coming over to Switch, even if it adds on to the endless amount of recently released ports. Rockstar also confirmed the game would be getting motion controls for shooting, touchscreen capability for the text-driven action cutscenes, and HD Rumble. I love motion controls in Splatoon, and I always find myself wishing there were more shooters that utilize the gyroscope, so I'll definitely be picking this one up day one when it's officially released on November 14th this year. On to some more exciting news from the ARMS realm. We knew an update was coming in the next couple weeks after the new character DLC was announced a few weeks ago, and now we received even more details regarding controller customization. One of the biggest complaints in the ARMS community was the controls are slightly rigid and don't feature any different variety of control schemes, and it looks like the developers really took that to heart. Following the next update, we'll be able to customize every single button on every kind of controller to what we want. This is a big deal, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of control schemes become the most successful among the community, and just looking at all the different patterns people come up with. I've personally never liked how the motion controls were set up for this game, so I'm excited to play around with it a little bit to see if I can find a more comfortable setup. And finally, the most exciting, and maybe most alleged piece of news I have, comes from a Reddit AMA held by the developers of the recently released Lickspier. When asked about the exclusion of leaderboards and achievements for this version of the game, one developer mentioned that Nintendo themselves didn't actually support this type of thing, but they are currently working on a system for this. Now, this is in no way a surefire thing, but it does seem a lot more likely than most rumors we encounter regarding the Switch. The official online service is going to be released in 2018, and it's going to cost $20 a year to use, so it definitely makes sense that they would add systems like this to give the buyer just a little more incentive. This, along with the fact that the developer who said this responded by saying, "Oops," and also that he shouldn't have let the cat out of the bag, makes me think this could be a real thing. I'm a perfectionist and also a completionist to a point, so I'd really love something like this to make playing these games just that much more rewarding. I'm not sure how they'd handle this with games that we've already put multiple hours into, like Zelda, but hopefully we get some information on this soon, if it actually comes to fruition. So if you've got any low-key news I might have missed this week, let me know about it down in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This is Max from Max Culture, and thank you so much for watching.